Okay, what I basically put together is not so much a best of show, but what I'm doing is putting little highlights and some little funny moments. And these are not clips from all the shows, but definitely some highlights to get us motivated for the new year. Let's kick it off with Gavin and Devin doing this little mix rap, having a little good time with it.
The Chris and Dave Show.
Oh, for a little podcast.
Ooh, Follow Podcast.
Yeah.
Chris and Dave. On the podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah.
Podcast.
Yeah.
The greatest podcast. Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talk all that smack.
Ooh.
Hit with a mat.
Ooh. Hit you with a bat.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Stop all that Gavin.
Ooh. Stop.
Starting to walking.
Walk.
Get all that talking.
Ooh. Talk.
Hit you with that mat.
Pow.
Make it real fast. Bowling on the dash.
Boom.
Make it real fast. Get on my face.
Face. Get on my face. Breath real bad. Get some toothpaste. Ooh. Colgate. What? Your breath real stank. Like your booty hole. What? And your toes crusty too. You just an ugly person in general, but it's okay.
Whoa.
You got it, Chris. Go on rap. Chris. You got it. You got this rhyme. You got a rhyme.
Switch it back.
What?
Got them racks. Got them Glock. Make it pop.
Ooh. Got that Glock. Extended clock. Ooh. Wait, what? Extended Glock. Ooh. Mac 11. Send you to heaven.
To be young again. Good job, guys. Good job. We're going to kick off this next section with Joe's uncomfortableness with phallic symbols in his face.
Does this thing really have to be that close to my face?
Yes, it does.
Just a little farther away.
Your little lips need to be
better?
touching it.
It does sound good.
Can you make it? Is that all right still?
Yeah, that's
all
good.
right, good.
He's got a comfort zone.
I mean, like if I turn my face and my nose rubbing up against it.
Now, Dave's first love.
Actually, did I tell you about that girl in high school I used to give it to? And she wanted me to speak Spanish to her. Did I ever tell you
No,
that
you
story?
never told me that. What's that?
My God. So, my Spanish was very minimalistic, let's say. Everybody assumes because my mother came over from the islands that I speak fluent Spanish, and I like to perpetuate that lie. But hasn't always been the case. But if it'll get me in your little panties, I'll go with it. So she goes, David, I've always wanted to make love to a Latin man. Could you please speak Spanish to me as we make sweet love? And I said, listen, lady, you're going to regret this because my Spanish is pretty bad. And she goes, listen, I don't speak any Spanish. So whatever you say, I'll go with it. And it's going to be a very erotic evening for me. And I said, are you sure? She goes, yes, I'm sure. I said, okay, listen. So we set it up for the weekend. So that weekend comes, she's in sexy as hell.
Did you study up to try to come up with some good verbiage?
No, I'm just going to run with what I got.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
Well, obviously, as you saw, he doesn't even read the fucking directions for his headphones. So,
yeah.
You know.
So now I got to lay the groundwork. She was the town whore, okay, which also, ironically, she was my high school sweetheart, which I didn't find out she was the town whore till later. So we are in the throes of passion. And I am hitting her with my best Spanish. It was, yo quiero leche. Me gusta huevos. And so,
Now, Cuervos is eggs,
No,
right?
well,
Huevos,
there goes.
yeah,
So
huevos, yeah.
I run through everything I know. We get done. She goes, I go, well, was that kind of what you were anticipating? And she goes, yeah, it was good. I feel like you're reading off a breakfast menu. Was that? I go, I told you, bitch. All I knew, I was very minimal. I knew I want to order eggs. I want some bread. I want some milk. That's all I had. She read through my bullshit there. So,
Well, obviously, she knew what Cuervos are.
A little bit
huevos.
of,
She had
Huevos.
some
Huevos.
slap in her
it
little
depends
chin.
on the context of what the huevos
the
are.
huevos.
Huevos.
Now, a little silly guy talk.
a guy with your military level of training that's had to sit cheek to cheek with guys shitting. You would think that talking about docking would make you uncomfortable.
Well, we weren't sitting cheek to cheek talking about rubbing penises together. You know, we might have been talking, but
First of all,
damn.
nobody's penis is being rubbed together. And in the story I told,
Well, I don't know if you got to that part yet.
I was waiting until we developed a little better relationship before I got to that stage. But as you were over there talking about sitting cheek to cheek, taking a shit, Joe's over there like, yeah, that's right. So what's wrong with it? He had that look like,
That look like, yeah, I guess so.
We did, man.
yeah, cheek to cheek. Yeah, taking a shit. Sure.
There was one
Passing the
place where
roll.
we trained, there was nothing but it was a plywood board like this and holes. And they were right next to each other. Like you'd be rubbing elbows,
They should
taking a
have. Why didn't
shit.
you just make one long trough?
That's what it was.
Oh,
It was one big giant outhouse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like it.
That's pretty.
Yeah.
Would you? Now, if you did that, say one guy's in there taking his shit, would you make him? Would you have fun making him feel uncomfortable by just
Sit
walking
right
all the way
next to
down,
him.
just sitting
Yeah,
right
sit
next to him?
Yeah, right.
That's what my buddy did when he got out of the Army. That guy that's still in college, he's like, hey, you know what I like to do? I'm like, what? He's like, you know how when you walk in, there's like 8 urinals and there's one person? He's like, I like to get in that urinal right next to him. Just make him uncomfortable. Maybe look at him in the eyes.
Especially if they're at the one down on the far end, you know?
Yeah, you have to walk all the way down.
That one that's got all the urine on the bottom of it because everybody chooses that one.
Yeah. Just start humming a little bit.
Or whistling as you walk in.
He's got a big one.
Oh my God! I need you to tell that story because I didn't hear it all, but tell that one where.
I don't know if I mean, basically, there's this guy that we work with, and he had one of the bigger jobs that we had going on for a big client. And he's in the bathroom, and he's taking a piss. And then this other guy that we got, I won't use his name, but he talks like this. And for the longest time, I thought he was gay, but he's not. He got thrown out of
he got thrown out of Twin Peaks
for. I didn't know you weren't allowed to touch the girls. I guess they just throw you out for that.
He got banned from Twin Peaks. No shit.
Yeah, it's pretty bad to get banned from there.
Yeah. By the way, it's Bikini Week this week.
Oh boy.
There's a little
All
plug
week?
for Twin Peaks. Yeah. At least till tomorrow.
Okay, we'll
There
have
you
to
go.
throw that in rotation this
There
week.
you go.
Yes.
There you go.
So anyway, so he's taking a piss, and that guy walks in, and he's talking to him, whatever, taking a piss, and he goes to step off, and some other person walks in, and as he walks away, he goes, he's got a big one.
It's
And he did it on purpose. He did it on purpose. You know?
Really?
He's talking about the big job, but he did. Now here's the thing that you didn't know. This past week, I was taking a piss, and he's in there, and I'm like, hey, how's it going? Everything going your way? He's like, just waiting on that big one.
My goodness.
And then he had to clarify that big job. I was like, oh, okay. Glad you clarified. Yeah.
Was
But
he-
no shit, he really did. That was
is
this
funny.
past week.
He is hilarious. Though.
Was he sitting on the counter by the sink, just swinging his little legs, waiting on guys to come
He's
in?
probably 70 years old. He's funny as shit, though.
Oh, he is fun. Very unassuming, man. It's hilarious. Like you look at him and like he's,
You would not think he was funny.
dude. He
Really?
you know,
Oh, so he's doing it all as a joke.
You don't really know, and that's what makes it even funnier. You don't know if he's doing it for funny, but
yeah,
yeah.
it's he's weird, man. He's like very straight edge, he's an older guy, got this khakis on, his little button up shirt, very unassuming, very you look at him, you wouldn't look twice at him.
I did find out a couple of years ago he's on some sort of medication.
Oh, is that what it is?
If I don't take my medication, I get on right now.
On this next little segment, Joe's going to surprise Dave with the definition of a tactical shit.
Hey, on the real now, when you're taking one of them tactical shits, you had somebody come with you. You taking a shit, one of them tactical shit, somebody came with you. They're pulling security.
Well, hell yeah, because it's like that's why dogs look at you when they're taking theirs,
Yeah.
because they're depending on you.
Yeah.
If you break stride, they're breaking stride.
I'm
And
with
you
it.
got your weapon at the ready. And then when you're ready to wipe, they wipe for you.
Shut your mouth.
That's how that shit works, dude.
You and I go take a shit. I go take a shit. You come with me. I take a shit. I got my gun out. You wipe my ass.
You got a rifle. You don't have a gun.
And you're
Right.
wiping my ass.
Yeah. Right.
Are you serious?
Hell yeah, I'm serious.
And that'll
No,
create
I'm
a
serious.
bond. That's gonna
Hey, but
create
you
a
did
real
have somebody
bond.
come with you. You did have somebody come with you for tactical shit.
Man,
But they didn't wipe your ass.
do you get to pick?
Look,
Who called for you? Who
the look,
picked?
the
Does it
look,
matter?
the look on Dave's face.
Like, this is some real hardcore shit here.
It's like,
I couldn't tell if he was like
he thought you
for
were sick.
real or if he was like
No, he thought you
He
were
was
sick.
excited.
lying. No, I was like, because I've talked to some military guys, and they've always left that part out.
Yeah,
Never
Yeah.
heard that
you,
before.
you did have somebody come with you.
But they
But
didn't wipe your ass.
Oh, I say I might just go without an ass wiping.
Well, if you do that, that's when you pick the guy you don't like.
Yeah.
It's like, that motherfucker cheated me out of money last week. Hey, man, I gotta go take a shit. Come on.
Yeah. And he may not wipe you right either. He
Right.
might just smear that shit all up your ball sack. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I don't know. Do you pick
Yeah.
a guy you don't like or a guy you do like? I mean,
You know what I mean? Hey, can you use that wet nap that came in the MRE for?
Lord.
Oh, this next little clip is excellent. It is a true definition or pure example of be careful who you date in this world. Guy or girl does not matter. People can fuck you up.
But basically, he dated this fucking psycho. And he was at work trying to get another job, and they needed his resume. So he calls her and says, hey, I need you to send my resume to these people. And she did, but she gave him a little extra love on that resume.
Yeah.
She adjusted your resume?
So my mother had a friend from church that she had networked with. And so the lady from church said, hey, get Dave to send a resume. Her husband or somebody worked at AT&T and said, get Dave to send his resume over, and he's a shoo-in. So I called my girlfriend who was at home, and I said, hey, listen, it's on the hard drive. Just zip it over to this email address. You don't have to make any adjustments. It's set. Just send it to this email address. She was very insecure, very jealous. So she sends the email over, I believed. And then it was like the next day.
Nothing was said, though, after she sent it.
Oh, no.
Yeah,
No,
she
no.
didn't
just
say
sends it.
nothing. No,
Yeah, she
but
said-
she's like, oh, send it. Yeah, that
Yeah.
was...
So the next day, a day or two, I get a call from AT&T, expecting to get called in for an interview. And she goes, Dave, we got your resume here. Is this serious? And I go, yeah. Wow, what's going on? She goes, well, down at the bottom, you have this this one portion that where people would normally list special talents or hobbies or whatever. You put that you have a offensively large penis. I'm not sure why you think that would benefit us here at AT&T. And I go, I really don't know. I said, I said, I had my girlfriend send that over. And she goes, okay. She says, well, but I think we're going to interview other clients, but I appreciate you for your time.
Damn, just because your girlfriend did that?
Just
they
because
wouldn't
I have
let
a
But they-
grotesquely large penis. They didn't have no room in their facility for such
Well,
a
the thing
large
about it is they didn't know. I mean, there's no proof that,
Yeah.
that his girlfriend adjusted his,
Yeah, and they didn't have no time for no silliness like that.
On this next clip, we got all four guys in early in the season of the show, just BSing around, giving Dave a hard time about his little sexual exploits.
No, one of the things that I was going to talk about was, and I don't know why it always goes back. It was just traumatizing to me. Is when I lost my virginity, many moon ago.
Well,
Yeah.
that guy's probably in prison right now.
Okay.
But he's 21 now.
Nice. No, she was, as it comes to find out, I mean, she was the town whore, and I didn't find out till later. But she was coming at me with so hard. We were both 17, and she was coming at me so hard with all this advanced sexual shit, and I was like, Jesus, lady, slow down a little bit. And it was just one thing after another, and so I had to tell her. I said, 4 days ago, all I did was pee out of this thing, and I might grab it around the throat and slap it once in a while, but I wasn't actually fucking like you want to just put me through the paces. I'm like a baby giraffe, still learning to walk. So we're standing there one day. We're in her bedroom. And I told her, I said, listen, I'm not wearing that. I said, what is that thing even called? And she goes, a gimp mask. I said, I know. I said, who you been fucking to learn this shit? I go, it's a middle of summer in Florida. It's not even Halloween. I go, and I'm claustrophobic. I said, I can't wear that shit. And her response is, it's got a zipper in the mouth. I said, that doesn't help at all. The zipper in the mouth. It's not my mouth hole that's claustrophobic. It's all of me. So over on the coffee table was this thing, and I go, what about that thing over there? She goes, well, that's a butt plug. I said, well, why would anybody want their butt plugged? I don't understand. I'm 17. What's going on here? And I said,
There'll be plenty of time for that.
What about the hair coming off the end of it? And she goes, well, that's a horsetail. I said, so a horsetail on a butt plug? I said, who's that for? Me? You? Who? I said, forget it. I said, it's not getting used by anybody.
You're the rear of the costume.
Yeah. I said, forget it. It was just ridiculous, the whole thing. But she was just so advanced. She threw shit at me that I didn't hear again for the next 25 years, Shit. Yeah, so I don't know. But then I just had to tell her.
It's a gift.
But I'll be honest with you, if I fucked you, you'd have to put a mask on there. Because I just couldn't get it up, brother.
So it was her guilt. Is that what?
Yeah. Well, no, but then I had to tell her at the very end. I said, while we're on this conversation, I'm going to go ahead and say one last thing is, I'm not your father. I'm not your daddy. We're at the same age. So why you keep referring to me as that is very...
And now you got a thing for girls to call you daddy.
And now, so now I get it. But no, when you're both 17, I mean, that's weird. Hell. So...
That is funny.
But she was the same one that wanted me to speak Spanish to her. I told you that story.
Right. Yeah, that was funny. You told me that. That's pretty good.
So that it went from that to that.
Getting a lot of Dave on the first end of this little recap of the past year. He's talking about his exploits of driving a long time and being on the road a lot and what he does to stay awake.
Last 2 weeks, I've been driving 2.5 hours every day for work. I mean, it's ridiculous each way. Yeah, I'm going down to South Alabama, down Mississippi some. Yeah. I had to get some of that. I've been falling asleep. So I had to stop and pick up a pack of that 2 Chews. You read that gum? No.
What the fuck is that?
Yeah, that's another story.
That's another story. What the hell is that?
Oh, it's only got flavor for 2 chews. You throw that shit out, and your little fingers are so busy unwrapping the next piece.
I've never heard of it. You get it at a truck stop or something?
Oh, no, that's what I call it.
No, that's what he was being funny, but that's what threw me off, too, because I was like, 2 Chews? What the fuck is that? But
2 Chews and it's done. Yeah.
It's a good name. I like it.
I was saying, that's a catchy name.
I'd try to go ahead and get that.
No, 2 Chews.
No, but you got to steer with your knees, unwrap your little gum, 2 Chews out, next one in, grab the next one.
Keeps you busy.
And you're just rotating through the whole 1 pound bag of gum.
You get home, you dig a ditch with a teaspoon. What the fuck?
If you ever fall asleep, remember that. Just get you some old 2 Chews. Any of that old shitty ass, hard ass gum. Yeah.
That is fun.
Oh, this next little one, we get to discuss cruise line adventures.
A little bit. Well, he noticed there's this guy dancing with this girl, and they're just getting fucking wild, right? And he's got this girl, the guy's dancing, and the girl jumps up, wraps her legs around him, and he's just kind of swinging her left and right. He takes the girl, and he goes to swing to dip her, bounces her head right off the fucking floor.
That's good stuff.
Bam! right?
Knocks
Knocks
her
her the fuck out, dude.
damn.
She just limps out, and of course he sits her down,
just dragged the
and
dead body off.
everybody sees it, right? So the whole damn crowd just kind of stops, you know. It's like, oh shit, and music dies down.
All eyes on
yeah,
me.
all eyes. Everybody's just zoomed in on this girl because she is just laid out.
Oh yeah.
Right, and so of course they call the EMT guys that are on board, and they come and they're checking her out because she's drunk as shit, obviously, and then she gets her head crowned against the damn hardwood floor,
Body slammed on
so
the floor.
and my buddy was sitting there. He says, of course, he's back a little ways and he's watching what's going on, and he says everybody's looking at the girl, but he's keeping his eyes on the guy, you know, just seeing what the guy's. And the guy just starts backing up into the crowd.
He melts into
He
the
melts.
crowd.
Like
He's
Peter
done.
Griffin.
He just so he's obviously not with this girl as far as, you know, came on the thing. So he melts into the crowd. He disappears, and of course they take the girl off, take care of her, and my buddy was like, damn, that was just crazy. Yeah, he literally just like a chameleon. Just
He's guilty.
Holy shit.
Well, the next day, he said they pull into one of whatever port, whatever, right? And my buddy's walking down the little, you know, plank, you know, where they pulled in, and there's the fucking guy, and he's talking to a girl, a different girl. My buddy walks by him and says, "You'll be all right as long as you don't go dancing with it."
Wear your damn helmet.
Yeah.
Here's Tim giving us a little bit of information on the cruises he's worked on over the years.
You know, I was in the bar down at the crew bar because we're not allowed to go in the regular bars when you're working the ship. And I'm talking to this guy from Florida, and he's an investigator. And I said, well, what do you do? He said, I get on the ships. He said, we investigate jumpers. He said, last year, the Carnival had like 29 jumpers. I said, you're shitting.
To commit suicide?
Yeah. They get on the ship. He said, one lady got on, didn't even have no luggage.
Wow.
Oh shit!
Yeah, it's a 3 or 4 day cruise. You know, that bitch going to be stinking if she ain't jumping.
It's a shitty way to go.
But they say that everybody that's done it has been on medication for depression. And when they get out there, it's very peaceful. And they get out there sitting on the deck, and it's very peaceful. And they get to a point they hadn't been to in a while because they're so fucked up in the head. They don't want to leave. So they just fucking jump.
That's crazy.
And I said, you're kidding. He said, no. He said, it happens all the time. He says, and see, the ship don't turn around and go back and get you.
Yeah.
You jump, you're fucked. Most of the time, the fall's going to kill you because it's 100 foot up. You know?
Oh, so they don't put the brakes on and say, let's look for
They don't
Tim?
have a little boat that they drop
They'll
down?
call
Hell
in,
no.
no, they'll call in Coast Guard, hey, some fucker jumped.
Damn.
Wow.
But there's a good chance you're going to go off, go under the boat, go through the propeller, so
Yeah.
you're just chum anyway.
You're chummed up in the screws.
So
yeah.
there's no reason to go back,
Yeah.
really.
Yeah, they're not
So
gonna blow that
he
time.
says, yeah, they're on this medication for depression. I said, damn, I'm going to go home and buy my ex-wife a fucking cruise. She's on it too.
Yeah, there's some crazy stuff that goes
Oh,
on
yeah,
there,
and
man.
all the time, man.
Here's Tim telling you how to level the playing field for a childhood fight.
But you know, you talk about crazy, people being crazy. And I believe if you, I did this when I was a little kid. I was in the 5th grade. We had this guy in class, and I did something that made him mad. I think I popped off to him or something. And he had failed 2 or 3 times. He's like 21 years old, and he's in the 5th grade. And he told me, after school, I'm going to whip your ass, you know. And my buddy's sitting there with me. He says, man, he's a big old boy. You know, he said, he's probably going to kill you. I said, yeah, there's a good chance because he's big, you know. I said, I got to make that son of a bitch think I'm crazy. If he thinks I'm crazy, he won't mess with me. So I go up to the front of the class. The teacher's outside, and I'm using the old pencil sharpener. And you know the old metal trash cans you used to have? Yeah. Well, and I didn't intend for it to go this far, but he had said something, yeah, I'm going to get you after school. I reached down and picked that garbage can up and just hit myself in the head with it, you know, to put a big dent in it. Well, I hit it right on the seam where it's put together, so it come apart, and it cut me across the forehead. So I'm bleeding, and I just went like that, I said, I can't wait. I can't wait, you know. And everybody's going, oh, my God, he's an idiot, you know. And then after the class, he said, look, man, I'm just kidding. We're good. And I'm glad because he'd have destroyed my ass if we'd have got in a fight. But I did. I made him think I was crazy, and he
It's all
thought,
about
I ain't messing with him. That's somebody I'll pull your lungs out. You don't know what he'll do.
21 years old in 5th grade.
Yeah.
You don't want to fight that guy.
Here's a little trip down memory lane for me, a story of my early 20s and some life experiences I had. to save people's reputations.
Huh.
So I did some work in the '90s for a radio personality, and this radio personality was a fairly free spirit, and I did as a female, and I did.
I won't say the name, and I know who you're talking about.
And it's
Yeah.
I think you and I discussed.
I
it.
used
Yeah.
to work
Yeah, and
kind of with them a little
yeah,
bit.
Yeah. So her husband had me doing some stuff over at one of their properties, and so when I went to go get paid, me and this other girl were going to go to Key West, Florida. So I was going to run by and get a check from him, before we took out. Well, I go in this little office. They had like a 3-story house. It was a beautiful old house in Birmingham. So I went down, and I'm in his office. I'm standing there, and he was kind of an odd fella anyway. He was, I never could quite get a grasp on his angle where he was coming from sometimes. But I'm sitting there, and I'm looking around, and I just happened to look over. And there's a little small picture, sitting there. And I noticed there's a lot of little small pictures all in this built-in bookcase. Well, I got to noticing what those pictures were, and they were naked pictures of him and her.
That is sweet.
And this guy's not like a gym guy, you know what I'm saying? It's not like he's like some Adonis. It looks like
He's homeless looking.
Yeah, he's homeless looking. So I'm standing there, and you ever look at something, you just kind of get frozen, You're just kind of like
Fucking train wreck.
yeah. It's like as I looked at it, I was just kind of staring at it, and I didn't mean to stare at it. And then he goes, "Yeah, I got those." And then he spoke up on it, which really made it awkward, because it's a picture of him, and he's standing in a window, right? Very artistically done, but it's his back's to the camera. He's butt naked, and he looked like something you'd see at a damn, nursing home,
His ass looked like a bag of hammer.
Yeah, I was like, and I just didn't know what to say. And then I looked over, and then his wife, she was a robust lady, and to say it nicely, and she sprawled out across this grand piano, and I'm just like,
And the legs are bowed.
and I was just like,
Were these black and white?
some were color, but they were. He goes, and so anyway, he just goes on about how his buddy, who's an artist, had taken all these pictures for him, and I'm just like, so apparently they were swingers. I'm sure. I'm that's my assumption.
Huh.
And but yeah, neither one of them were any that you'd go buy a magazine to take a look at in the '90s, But man,
Most of that swinging stuff, though, all them people are very unattractive.
it's amazing. Yeah, it's not what they make the pornos about.
No.
Here's a little good story for you. This is on old Joe and his ridiculousness and not thinking things through. Probably one of the reasons why my son calls him Crazy Joe.
I grabbed one at work by the tail. He was getting away.
Oh my God, that's a great story. So
There's not much to it.
Oh, this is a hilarious story, especially when I tell it.
Joe never thinks too much.
So we're walking out of the building, right? And there's about 4 or 5 of us. We're all going to lunch or something. And all of a sudden, Joe just takes off running. The most awkward run I've ever seen him run, by the way. He's just looking this crazy run.
Forrest Gump.
Yeah,
Where are you going?
just fucking takes off. And we're like, everybody's like, what the hell is he doing? And all of a sudden, because we're looking in the direction he's running, this damn snake pushing 4+ feet is going across the parking lot real damn fast and heading into the bushes.
He got in the bushes.
Yeah, he got in the bushes. So he's heading for the bushes, right? First of all, at damn 25+ yards, you can't tell what kind of damn snake it is. I'm just, unless you got some supervision. This idiot's over here chasing this snake, and the snake goes in the bushes, can't see it.
No, I got him by the tail.
Whoa. This is my fucking story.
All right.
So Joe runs, hits a hard left, chasing this snake into the bush. He didn't look. He just jams his arm shoulder deep into the damn
Like
bush.
catfishing.
Yeah, his face is all against the damn pricklies of the bush, and he's just sitting there reaching, and all of a sudden he starts pulling this fucking snake out. He didn't know what kind it was.
What kind was it?
I still don't know what kind it was. I'm
think
guessing it's a rat snake.
It looked like a rat snake.
Black? Was it
Yeah,
black?
yeah.
Okay.
But the whole thing was he didn't fucking know. He walked out the door of the building, 25+ yards,
if people don't know what 25, that's pretty damn far.
That's
Yeah.
alone.
And he breaks stride chasing this fucking snake.
But then a crowd wanted to look at the snake when it's coiled up on the asphalt, so they got to see some nature. So that
Did you
was-
whip
Yeah,
it?
see some
Did you whip it like a towel?
He
Yeah.
did not
No,
want to
no,
like
no,
a towel.
no. That's a good snake. You want to leave him alive.
Yeah, but damn, we were just like, what the hell is wrong with him?
That's amazing.
And he didn't have any fucking, no reason why.
No fear.
No reason why. It was like, everybody's like, what'd you do that for? I don't know.
I like
I'm
animals,
gonna tell you,
man.
son of a bitch you can eat with sticks, he gonna catch you something.
I was at I was in the army and you know, you weren't allowed to walk on the grass at that time. It was like fucking sacred, and I think things have changed now. It's a different army now, but you couldn't touch fucking grass unless you were mowing it. That was it. And there were these squirrels that would hang around outside, and they knew we didn't fuck with them. But I liked squirrels, and I always tried to sneak up on them. And I'd get close enough, and then they'd fucking scurry away. But one time, I got close to one. He had his back turned around, and I had a little manila folder in my hand, and I got so close, I poked him in the butt with the corner of that manila folder, and he turned around like, what the fuck?
He didn't take off.
He did after that, but he turned around and looked to see what the fuck it was first.
He thought he got bit. He didn't know what was going on.
That's all right. I seen an old fucker one time catch a squirrel. He had it hemmed up in high school, and old redheaded guy, and he's trying to catch a squirrel. And everybody said, "Man, that damn squirrel is gonna get you, man." And he had it cornered up, and it took him about 3 minutes to catch it, and about 10 minutes to turn that son of a bitch loose, because it climbed up. It would eat his ass up. He'd throw it down and jump back on him. He'd throw it down and jump back on him. What the fuck, man?
It's like, I'm trying to let you go. He was.
I got rabies out of that deal.
He could, yeah.
He was fighting. He was fighting that one.
What else can I say about this next little part other than titties?
No, I'm
I
down.
don't have a problem with my wife's titties or nothing. I'm fine.
She's perfect.
Only problem I would have, I probably don't get to see them enough.
Yeah,
But other than that, that would be my only complaint.
mine too.
That should probably be your only complaint.
Yeah.
If you go outside that,
Oh, naughty girls. They sure are fun, but they can be a headache.
Damn, there is a point where you just
Well,
get
until you
wore
have to take some bitch out in public.
Yeah.
Now we got a problem.
yeah, you telling me? Yeah.
out. Go on and lay it out there.
Yeah.
It was fucking hilarious.
Well, so and that was the thing. So she had fake titties. She was an attractive girl, and she had a nice little body on her. So Sundays, I'm tight with my family, and so Sundays we have
That's an understatement. I'm just going to say that.
a tradition where we would go to my mother's house and we'd have Sunday dinner. You know, it's a one time a week everybody gets together.
Yeah.
So we're getting dressed, and she's getting dressed, and she's got a mini skirt, low cut top, titties pushed out, stiletto heels, no panties, no bra. Her nipples were pierced, and she's all tatted up. And she goes, "Okay, baby, we're ready." And I go, "What the fuck you going dressed like that?" She goes, "You
Granny,
said
what my ass with a casserole dish if I bring you in there looking like that.
She said, "We're going out to eat." I said, "We're going to my mother's house." She goes, "But what if we go out afterwards?" I said, "Then you bring a change of clothes." But Jesus, I mean, no panties, no nothing. I mean, it's just, but that was the battle every day with her.
One of Dave and Amber's favorite places.
I had a Pasquale's pizza today.
I
Speaking
love
of,
Pasquale's. He hates Pasquale's.
so I walked in there and I say, "Hey, who runs this place?" And the lady goes, "Well, I'm engaged to the guy that's owning it." I said, "I just want you to know I'm coming back. I left about 35 years ago. And I'm back for another slice." She goes, "Damn." I go, "It wasn't bad service. I just came here as a child, and I just haven't had a chance. I haven't thought about it. But my cleaners is closed for 30 minutes, so while I wait, I thought I'd get me a slice."
Which one did you go to?
Sea Point.
Okay. The one down here is really good.
Yeah, that one over there in Sea Point, I'm going to tell you, man, they put that real cheese on there. Like that Amish cheese, that cheese your grandmama makes. I'm probably going to shit a block of cheese here before long. I mean, that real shit, you know it? Not that cheap plasticky stuff. I mean, real. Because I asked for extra cheese, and they put some real shit down, let me tell you. It's like, fuck, lady, feels like a brick in my little belly. In fact, I might just forego shitting out a block of cheese. I might just shit a mouse. That's how cheesy that shit was. That's cheesy. You shit a mouse.
Ah, the little ribbon we give poor Amber.
I got my driver's license renewed today.
Today?
This is yours?
Oh, look like a fucking wildebeest.
This is you? I was about to say,
Let's
who's
see.
that hottie?
Yeah, hottie before, naughty after.
This is your new one?
The paper one.
Gonna see. Let's see.
I look like an angry butch.
God, you look like a fucking serial killer.
Yeah. You're a real tough
If I,
guy.
yeah, man, if I pulled her over, I'd look at that and be like, holy
Yeah.
fuck. I'd be like, excuse me, man, let me let you go.
So here's your little fact. Nobody loves their dog as much as Dave or values the privacy of their phone as much as Dave does. Check out this little next bit.
But anyway, so real quick. So I hadn't worked with my little Brazilian buddy for weeks and weeks. And so today we're driving for like an hour to a job site, and he's sitting beside me, and he's totally silent the whole way. He's on his phone, and I don't even say a word. I think he could irradiate my annoyance, you know. So we go to the job site. We're work all day. On the drive back, we're halfway home, and I'm sure the whole way there, the whole time, all we did was talk about work. And then halfway on the drive back, he's sitting there silent. And the whole time, I believe, he was trying to figure out something to say to spark a conversation, you know, because I just wasn't really having it, and I wasn't interested. And what makes it really awkward is the fact that the radio in his work truck don't work, so it's completely 100% silent. Oh, you hear the tires on the road. That's it. Nothing else. For an hour there, and then that 30 minutes back. He knows there's one weakness in my world that I will talk about. And so he goes with a mash of Portuguese, Spanish, and English. He just mashed it all together. And he goes, hey, you got a dog? And I go, yeah, I do have a dog. And he goes, well, what's your dog's name? And I go, well, Dexter and Marley. He goes, oh, that's the greatest name ever. And we're starting to connect. We're starting to bond over here. I'm not sure. I think he may have scooched over a little bit on the bench seat, just a little bit. So we're talking, and then there's that silence again for like another 5-10 minutes. All I hear is tires on the road. And I go, and my phone's sitting next to me, and I go, here, I'll show you a picture of my dog. And I pull it up. I'll pull up probably one of those. You know, I got 3,000 of them. Not Marley, Dexter. You know,
Of course. Yeah. Who the fuck is Marley?
The ghost dog.
So I hand this dude my phone, and this fucking guy has the audacity. He takes my phone and starts doing this, scrolling through. And I go, hey, man, let me tell you something. When somebody hands you your phone, you don't even switch it from landscape to portrait, bitch. You hear me? You just hold the phone, admire the photo, and hand it back. There's no swiping left, right, because you're in for, on my phone especially, you're about to have your fucking world shook. So don't do that. He goes, sorry. So I go, fuck, what's wrong with this guy? So we ride for another 2 minutes, and I go, whatever. Nobody can just take one picture of Dexter. I gotta show him another one. So I go back. I find another one. He's probably in a canoe, or he's got a bow tie on, or I don't fucking know what. And I go, here's Dexter, another picture. He goes, oh, that's nice. That's nice. And he starts flipping. I go, God damn. And he's flipping again. And this dude went through about 9. And I said, hey, keep scrolling. I said, you're in for a shock, bitch. Go, keep going, because eventually you're going to hit that money shot. he goes, I done now. But I was like, who does that? Shit. But anyway, so it's just, that's how I ended my day. And he left me on a little bit of a sour note. He was doing so well, and it just fucked it right at the end, that guy.
What's his? I get you don't have to tell his name. I was gonna.
I'd rather not. It's a very unusual name. We
can't-
call him Julio, but that's
Don't-
not his name. That's what we call him. So
Portuguese Julio.
yeah, yeah. So, but anyways,
That's pretty damn funny.
yeah.
So for all you guys out there that are maybe even some girls that are looking to find a captive audience, here's Dave's little rendition of Uber before Uber was popular.
So I know the county jail well. so back when I was a younger man, any story I tell you, I want you to understand they're not recent, of course. They're back many years ago. Not I'm now a much different person now. So of course I would never do these types of things.
Sure.
So I had a home that I was remodeling. I met a young lady. I was stopping in. I met this young lady at McDonald's, and she gave me this line about how she wanted to use my cell phone as I stood in line. And so I handed her my phone. She said she needed to call her dad to get a ride home. And she goes, well, my dad's not answering. Do you think you could help me out? And I said, yeah, I guess. And one thing leads to another. We end up going back to the house that I'm working on. No furniture, no nothing. I'm sheetrocking, painting, whatever. And we go into the house and we do our thing. And then I take her back home, So long story short.
True gentleman.
That's me. That's well, because I was going to be a repeat. If I just sent her out hoofing it like Amber's mom. And I'm going to tell you.
That was 10 miles, by the way.
Yeah, see, that's a good walk.
That's a
10
good walk.
miles.
That's a damn good walk.
And let me tell you this. If I had to guess my house to hers, I'd give it 3. So she could have done it easily.
She probably had shoes on.
Yeah, with shoes. So, long story short, this goes on for several months. So one day, I notice she just falls off the earth, and I don't hear from her, which is unusual. She's usually good for once a week. So, I get a collect phone call from the county jail on my phone. I answer it, and they go, will you accept a call from, and then her name comes in, and I was like, well, damn, of course. What is this? And I go, what happened? What are you doing? And she goes, Dave, this whole thing, it was a setup. It's not what they said. I go, what did they say you did? She goes, well, they said that I went into Walmart, smacked an old lady, stole her purse, got in her car, got in a high-speed chase, wrecked it, and then they arrested me. I go, well, I said, that's a very detailed. Jesus, what part is inaccurate? She goes, I didn't hit the old lady. I go, copy that. I go, well, so what do you need from me? Let's get down to it. She goes, well, it would mean a lot if you would just come up and visit. And I said, all right, got ready? All right, so basically it was, it'd really mean a lot if you would just come up here and visit me. I don't have any friends. I don't have any family. Nobody wants to visit me. So the way it works up there is according to your last name, that's when your visitation day is, and it's only on that day. So I think her name, I think it fell on a Thursday. So I went up there. I'm standing in line with all this riffraff. It's the best the city has to offer, standing in that line with me. So I go up there, take the elevator up to, I think it's the 6th floor. And then it's just like you see in the movies, with the telephone, the glass, and all that. And she comes in, and we're talking and all this. So this goes on, and she's like, man, Dave, I can't wait to get out of here. I'm gonna put it on you when I get out of here. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is gonna be some good shit. So I'm doing my own thing on the outside, Yeah. I know she's behaving on the inside, So this goes on 3-4 months. I'll miss 2-3 weeks, then I'll pop in, and then I'll come see her. So I come in One day I pop in. She's getting close to her release date. I pop in, and this is so unbelievable. She would always call me. She'd say, "Dave, I need you to put money on my
Book.
Yeah, in the book, whatever. There was another name for it. I'm starving. I don't have anything to eat and all this. So, I'd put $20, $10 here or there. It didn't matter. So I go up on a Thursday night, and I go up to see her. And when I walk into that little thing with the phones, she's already sitting down talking to this big fat Mexican guy. And I look at him and I look at her and I go, I tap the guy on the shoulder. I go, "Can I take that phone for?" I said, "I just need to say something real quick to her." I said, that's a friend of mine. I'm just going to really quick. And I grab it and I go, "Who the fuck's this guy?" And she goes, "That's my brother." I go, "Well, you're a white girl. This dude's full blown, don't even speak barely any English. Jesus, what do you mean your brother?" She goes, "I swear, Dave, I swear it's my brother." I go, "Okay." So I leave, and the guy
Now
comes.
again, it's between the glass.
Oh, yeah.
So
yeah.
he can't hear. He can hear you.
Yeah.
Because y'all are on the same side.
Yeah.
But he can't hear
Her.
Right.
Right. So I wait, and we take the long elevator ride down together, me and him. And I go, "So what did she say?" Now listen, that's not my girlfriend. That's just some chick that I'm seeing. But I go, "What did she say y'all are? I'm curious." He goes, "That's my girlfriend. She tells me she loves me and I love her, and that we're going to get married when she gets out." And I go, "Really? Copy." Okay. Okay. I go, "Well, I got news for you, pal. I've been smashing that shit for a long
tell
time."
him?
Yes. Yeah. So what? Oh, and this dude cried.
Oh.
He cried outside. He had to know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So, I'm sorry I had to be the heartbreaker, but I had to tell the guy the truth. Either you find out harshly then, or you find out after you've been strung out financially later.
Right. So you did him a favor. You did him a solid.
I did. Absolutely.
Whether he realized it at that moment or not.
Yeah. And I didn't do it with the intent of doing a favor. I did it out of pure spite.
You did it maliciously.
Being an asshole. So,
well, sometimes things, just work themselves out.
So, but here, this next portion is really the portion I was trying to get to. When you talk about county, this is the meat and potatoes of the county jail. So she came home. So she calls me up. She goes, "Dave, I need a ride home." And I said, "Okay." And I said, "But you understand, we're going to swing by my house before we get there, right?" She goes, "Oh, yeah, of course." So we go home, scrub her down, shave everything off, get everything tightened, toned, and washed and all that. And I'm going to tell you. So here, and I'm going to speak from experience, that if you have an opportunity to have sex with a woman that's been in jail for 4 or 5 months, and that shit is just bottled up, do it. The only thing that would trump that is maybe someone that did 6 years in prison. I mean, that would trump that. But I'm going to tell you, that was good. That was some good hair pulling, ear pulling, slapping, name calling, spitting, eye poking. There was, I mean,
You lost me at spit.
a little bit of Three Stooges going on in there. It was, and I'm all about that. So I take her home. This goes on. It plays out like it always has, right? Mm-hmm. After a few weeks, she disappears, and that's fine. She was meant to disappear. That was the whole plan. Mm-hmm. So I don't think anything about it. About a month later, I get a phone call, and it says, "Collect call from the county jail." Oh, shit. So I pick it up, and it says a name that I don't know. "Will you accept a collect call from whoever?" And I go, just out of curiosity, I go, "Sure, I'll take it. Shit, let's see." And so I go, "Hey, hello?" And this girl she goes, "Hey, Dave, this is," and I don't want to say her name. She goes, "But that girl, the other girl that just left, well, Destiny was her name, the original girl."
Yeah.
She goes, "Destiny left me her phone number, and she said that you were good for giving girls a ride when they got out of jail, that you were a nice guy. And she goes, I've been in for 5 months. You think you can give me a ride home?
You laugh.
I said, as a matter of fact, I can. Yeah, maybe just tell me. I mean, shit, we'll work it out. I said, but I'm just going to tell you, we're going to have to swing by my house on the way to your house. She goes, understood.
That is terrible.
That's awesome.
Well, I will tell you, that girl gave my number to another girl. And
Chain reaction at this
it
point.
was, I'll say this. I ended up giving about 4 girls a ride home. So it was actually not a bad thing. So and when I tell this story, people say, well, why did you stop? I mean, why wouldn't you keep it going? Because that number 5 was so hideous that was the one that broke the chain.
Oh, so you're saying you didn't swing by the house? On
No,
that one?
no, I didn't even swing by the county. She had to get her own ride.
How did you know she was hideous?
I'd seen her from when I went to visit one of the other ones.
Oh, gotcha.
I went up and visit one like the week before to make sure I wasn't getting sold a bag of goods.
Oh, so you did a
I'd have to do one visitation.
One visitation before
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
who you're getting.
Before I accept this Uber ride. Yeah. So, but anyways, that is my
That's your
county-
county
county
experience.
jail, yeah.
That's pretty damn good, though. Shit, man. There's probably guys that would love to run that taxi service.
sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Here's Amber giving me a little bit of my medicine back for giving her a hard time. Go ahead. You bring us in, and I can edit that part out.
No, because here's what happens. You always go back and listen to every one of the podcasts. In every one of them, there's a spot where you go, I can delete that out. But you never fucking delete it out. You just fucking throw the raw thing out there. The only thing that you ever edited, and I made you do it, was when I said something, I threw out a name that I shouldn't have, and I made you go back and you did the podcast edit.
Kids in their little bit of the Kung Fu Theater.
More chance.
Well, shit, I'm not the one that comes up out of the bed swinging. Although I've been known to
Maybe.
choke you in my sleep a few times.
Oh, you did the elevated double karate kick about 15 times to the back. That was kind of actually impressive for
I
coming
get
up out
pretty
of bed.
violent when I sleep.
Coming out of bed like this. You look kind of like one of those cheesy kung fu movies, you know, with flying on wire. That's what you
Let's
look
talk
like.
about some cheesy kung fu movies, motherfucker. Let's talk about that.
All right, what do you got? What movies you like?
That's not what movies I like.
You said we're going to talk about cheesy kung fu
Yeah.
movies. Have you seen?
Let's talk
have
about
you
your
seen the,
freakishly strong fingers. I hate your goddamn fingers.
my pokers?
They are. They're awful. And you know that I hate them. And you jab the shit out of me with them.
Well,
Why are your fingers so strong, Chris?
would you like to know?
Yeah.
As a child.
Yeah, let's hear the story.
So when I was about in the 4th grade in the Birmingham area, metropolitan area, there was a channel called Channel 21 WTTO. And on Sundays, they would have Kung Fu Theater. And I loved Kung Fu Theater. It was probably because I was high most of the time from all the airplane glue from putting my malls together and not having enough sense to raise the window. But that's probably what started it. But I loved Kung Fu Theater. And I found it amazing. And there's this one episode, and I would love to find it so I could watch it again to see if it.
You have mentioned this over the years.
Stood up to test of time.
Yeah.
But it was cheesy as fuck. And they would take their fingers and they would poke it into people's chest and like puncture like a knife. Mm-hmm. You know, they go about 2 knuckles deep, sort of like on the second day. And
The whole cheesy hi-ya!
yeah, well, it's more
Sound
kung-
effects?
Yeah,
They have sound effects?
Yeah, just you know.
Okay.
And they take their finger, pop, and they like puncture a guy's heart. And as we've all learned, if you're over the age of 15, you should know that your fucking chest cavity is pretty damn tough. You know what I'm saying? But for what are you in the 4th grade? 8, 10?
10.
Okay, so for somewhere between an 8 and 10-year-old, that was some impressive shit. So, in the shows, they'd show them warm, making their fingers strong. They'd take them boards and they'd poke the shit out of those boards, and it'd be like with the tip of their fingers.
They weren't breaking the boards.
No, they were just tapping the boards,
just training their fingers to be strong.
Right. So that was their like hitting a punching bag, but with your fingertips. And so of course, in the 4th grade,
this conversation alone makes my fucking fingers hurt. I'm just gonna.
So in the 4th grade, I would get
fingertips.
Our backyard. We had this porch. It was really, really high. It was kind of crazy looking out, thinking back. But anyway, I go out there in the post that holds it up. The 4x4, 6x6, whatever it is. I go out there and I'd poke that thing relentlessly. And I'd poke it I'd do my first finger, my bird finger, and then the 3rd finger. Only those 3 fingers. I never mess with my thumb. I never mess with my pinky. But I'd, just sit there and poke that. I just poke it relentlessly. So now I have this extremely weird. I can poke something or somebody, and it actually hurts.
Fucking kills. It makes me so. I can be in the best mood, and you come up and you poke me with that finger, I'm ready to kick your fucking ass. I hate being poked. And your fingers, they're like goddamn little daggers. They're ridiculous. Your fingers, you can. This is gonna sound really dirty, but you can finger somebody, and it's like being fucking elbowed. Your fingers.
Did you hear that, ladies?
Shut up.
I can finger somebody, and
Nobody
it's just like elbowed.
Nobody wants to be elbowed in the vagine.
I think there's some weird videos out there, stuff like that.
I'm sure I just haven't happened upon them yet, thank God. Every once in a while I find myself on some weird shit.
The old stripper tryout. Everybody should at least experience this once in their life.
Well, I'm going to take it back a step as far as strippers needing to audition. I was bartending at Sammy's in Birmingham for a while.
What?
Mm-hmm.
Nuh-uh.
Yep.
Really?
Yeah. Really?
No. Have you seen her dance?
She was
just making drinks.
She did not make the
I
cut.
did the chicken dance and the pizza guy. Have you not heard?
She did not make
the audition.
Yeah. Yes. Won't catch my ass on stage.
She can make a fucking drink, though. I can tell you.
Yes, she can. Yes, she
So I
can.
was bartending, and these 2 girls come in, and they wanted to try out. So management, tells them, yeah, you can try out. It was not daytime, but it was a weekday. It was pretty slow. So it was not a day shift, but it was a week night. We were pretty slow, and these girls come in, and management allows them to try out. So the first girl goes in the back, and she gets ready, and she comes out on stage, and she's doing her dance. We're in a dark club. This girl's wearing dark lingerie. We've got black lights on.
Oh,
This is a black girl, and all of a sudden, in the midst of her ass shaking, her stark white tampon string starts flapping around all over the place.
He just shook his head.
She didn't even know. She didn't even know. Her friend gets up and tells her, so she walks off in the middle of the song. She walks off. She goes back. She's gone. The song's still playing. Center stage. Song's still playing. A few minutes later, she comes back out. She starts dancing again. Fucking tampon string starts flinging all over the place again.
Wow.
Yeah.
Moral of the story, make sure you tuck your string.
Gross.
Or cut it. Or don't interview when you're on your period. I don't know.
There's options.
Yeah,
She had
you
to make
got
some
options.
money. She
got options.
She's got a kid she's trying to put through college and nursing school to pay for, okay? She
Bitch couldn't wait a week.
She couldn't wait a week. Tuition is due.
Oh, what a great little story coming up. Good reminisce on the old family holidays. If you ever think that you have a crazy family, there's always somebody out there that has a one-up story.
Okay, when I was about 13, my mom thought it would, she thought it would be a good idea to cut through the woods and go to Food World in the middle of the night. So you know how the Boy Scouts have the Christmas trees set up in the parking lot? Mm-hmm. So my mom hopped the fence, and she grabbed a tree, and she threw it over the fence.
Wait. So she has all her kids with her.
Oh, yeah, we're all with her.
Who don't know what's about to happen.
No, we didn't know she was going to do that.
Yeah, they just are going through the woods, I guess, to go to the store.
Right.
Okay.
This is awesome. Kids in tow.
Did you know they have alarms?
Yeah, I do now.
Yeah, they have alarms and flashing lights. And they're all going off and flashing, and we're scared to death. And we're like, Mom, please put the tree down. Please put the tree down. But she wouldn't put the tree down. She dragged this tree all the way through the woods to the house, put it up in the living room, decorated it. We had it all Christmas. No shit.
That is awesome.
It's a
She
true
told me the
story.
story. She told me the story, and I
The
was like,
cops
well,
never
did you
came
get
knocking at your door?
No.
Was the tree not beat to hell and back after
Well,
that dragging?
Well, they're pretty resilient.
My mom's
you know,
real
they're
good at decorating. It had a flat spot. She said, "We'll put that towards the wall."
Yeah, that's how it goes on the wall.
Yeah, she really did. But she went to jail that year too. So
Oh,
yeah, on Christmas Eve. So
Oh, so
Oh,
she
good
didn't
times.
even get. She didn't even get
no,
to
she
enjoy
didn't
it.
even get to enjoy the tree. She got public intoxication. They found her in a ditch with a 6-pack. My bad, a 4-pack.
And a Christmas tree. Dragging a Christmas tree.
My bad, a 4-pack. She came home Christmas morning, but you know she was a little hungover and tired from being in jail all night. So, but she
And
did.
dragging a Christmas tree
That's
through
a
the
true
woods.
story.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
we drug it all the way home.
Sounds like
We
my
were
family.
so scared. Yeah, it was true.
Your
was
mother's
younger.
got 6 kids?
Yes. That's why you steal a Christmas tree, Amber. Because
Oh, man.
because you have 6 kids.
This next little bit is old Dave talking about crazy co-workers that have might be just a little chemically imbalanced.
I'll tell you. So, and I wasn't going to get into this, but we worked together for several months, and so we used to always go out drinking. That was his thing. A lot of times we'd leave work at noon because he couldn't make it more than 5-6 hours without having a drink. So we left work. This may have been in Montana. We left work one day, and we drank until late into the night. And so when we come back to the hotel, I go to my room, and he does whatever he did. And so when I went to my room, I thought, shit, let me go to the lobby and grab a Coke. And as I walked down, now you got to keep in mind, this guy is almost 7 feet tall, and he's pushing 300 pounds. He was just an enormous Viking. So he is screaming at this little girl behind the counter. And
In the hotel?
Yeah, saying, drunk as shit. And he was saying that someone raised the water level in his room. And so I'm standing there and I'm listening, and he goes, when I sit on the toilet, my balls are getting wet. He goes, and they weren't getting wet when I left. He goes, so somebody raised the water level in my toilet. He goes, now I've got to hold my balls over to the side.
I was like, put them on my fucking lap now when I go to sit down.
Yeah, it was, and he wanted her to do something about it, drop the water level, and he was just giving her hell.
I would have loved to see the look on her face.
Oh, she was terrified. I mean, she didn't know. And so I corralled him, got him back to his room, because I was used to that kind of... He was just over the top, this guy. Again, another government conspiracy there to moisten his balls. So, but that was the kind of stuff that guy... It was just nonstop with that guy.
Ah, the childhood memories of a dysfunctional parent.
She would take the most wholesome situation and she'd find a way to fuck it up.
Yeah, yeah.
We went to Pumpkin Patch up here in Hayden.
Yeah.
Several years back. I don't think I was even old enough to drive. Me, her, and a guy she was dating. And she had drank so much before we even left Centerpoint, headed all the way up to Hayden, that by the time we got there, she was still drunk. And I remember, I was like, 14, somewhere around there. But Pumpkin Patch.
Yeah.
There's all these little kids running around, and we're, trying to pile up into the hayride to ride out and get her pumpkins, and she's so drunk she can't get up into the back of the tractor, so she just turns around, like, slings her purse into the sky, and she's like, "Hold my purse, bitch!
Give me a boost."
Blowjob's a blowjob. What do you want me to say?
Yeah.
I've never gotten a blowjob from that dude in my life. So.
These next little couple of clips is about, keeping people honest and being a single young bachelor.
Joe asked for a receipt if he's buying fucking bubble gum.
He's getting a blowjob.
Yeah,
I need a receipt for that shit.
I want to keep them honest.
Yeah. So, many, many years ago, when I was a younger man, I was at the club, down 280, and I met this girl, and as a young man in your early 20s, you always want to come across as I've got this, I've got material things, and you try to throw your feathers up and be something you're not. A lot of people do it. So I met this girl.
So you lied to her to get ass.
I did. Whatever it takes to get in them panties, baby. So I met this girl at a club. We were dancing. We were drinking. And I lived, actually, at the time, on the other side of Birmingham in my parents' house. But I couldn't tell her that. So I said, hey, I have an apartment, a real nice high-dollar apartment right down the road with a hot tub. If you want, we'll go get in a hot tub. And now, actually, I didn't live there, but my sister-in-law managed it. So that was the only tie. That's the only reason I knew anything about him. So we go over there. We go in the gate. It's 1, 2 in the morning, and we're butt naked, clothes outside the hot tub. We're in there getting it on. And I hear a car pull in, and then I can hear people approaching the pool area. And so we stop having sex, and we're just kind of hanging on the edge of the hot tub looking to see who's coming in. Asses up in the air, so it's just our ass and our face, our head sticking up. And these two girls with their dates are coming in to the hot tub also, probably for the same reason that we were there. And so they come right up to the edge, and they go, "Are you naked?" I go, yeah. Yeah. And then I'm looking at them, and it's my sister-in-law's girlfriend, like two best friends. I called them by name, and I said, "Is that you?" And she goes, "Yeah." And she goes, "Who's this?" And her date turns to her and goes, "You know this guy?" I was like, shit. So she goes, I don't think so. I go, it's me, Dave. And she's like, what the hell? So I go through the whole thing. And so they turn around and they all leave because they don't want to get into that tainted water. So they call my sister-in-law, and in turn, I guess she must have turned to my brother, and he calls me and gives me a rash of shit. And I was like, hey, man, spur of the moment thing. But anyway.
Did he even appreciate your effort?
No, he did not appreciate it at all. So, but it was just a funny moment then. Things that you do, when you're young.
Yeah.
So, there are things in life that you just can't fuck up, right? You learn as a baby, whatever it is, that there's some things that even an infant can do. And so I've went through life thinking that there are certain things that are just unfuckable, right? But I was watching this rally, and
apparently there are.
Well, now there's one less thing that
is on your list?
Yeah, because I thought clapping is such something that you just can't fuck up. But let me tell you, I was skimming through the channels. There's a political rally, and the guy that was speaking, there was a crowd of people behind him, and this fucking guy, let me tell you, he clapped like this. I swear to you, he clapped like this right here. And I thought, who is this communist?
So just holding one hand up and basically
And
half slapping the other hand.
Yeah. And I
Okay.
thought, wow, we're wasting our time trying to figure out the Russian deal. We need to know who let this fucking guy in the rally. Because nobody, that's not clapping. That's you're beating.
It's a simultaneous.
Yeah. And I thought, how do you fuck that up? Clapping. Babies clap. And this guy, it was just the most. But what made it so bizarre is he had his hands all the way over his head, like this is what he was doing, and making a huge scene. And I know people are looking around like, who brought this fucking guy? But
what would have been funny is whoever was speaking point him out and go, "What the fuck's wrong with you?" Somebody check this guy. I think he's having a stroke.
He was clearly a plant from the other side of the aisle.
Is that
you
what
know?
it was?
Jesus Christ, dude.
All right, we're going to leave you with this last little clip. It's been a lot of fun. These were all our comedic highlights. We enjoyed spending the last year or so with you. We look forward to making more memories with you.
Because I feel like Chris has a story. You fucked an older woman, didn't you?
I have.
Did she
Tell me
change
about
your
fucking
life?
an older woman.
Well,
How much older was she? How old were you? Tell me about fucking an older woman.
Well, it's probably not what you would consider older by my age now, but I was 20, 21, she was 50.
All right, so let's hold on.
Why are you laughing
love
so
it.
hard?
I
My
love
mom's
it.
almost
Hold on,
60,
wait a
and she
second.
had a 24-year-old, or 25-year-old, and a 22-year-old. 22-year-old trying to
That's
fuck her.
awesome. Okay.
So tell me about.
I can tell you one thing. You like everything she taught me.
And that, ladies and gentlemen.
And drop the mic.
And that is
We're
a
out.
fucking
We're out.
wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good fucking night. We are done.